Hello, I'm one I am, an esoteric subject matter author. I'm the author of Living the Dream by One I Am. Um, Also, the author of Answers of a Don't Want to Be Guru, because I don't want to be anybody's guru. Also, I wrote Maximum Meditation and Neophyte to Am, which is about awakening. Neophyte to Am. It's my journal. Pages from my journal. But tonight I want to talk about mental alchemy, mental manifestation. In other words, making reality from your thoughts. This is what I mean by mental alchemy and manifestation, mental manifestation. Where I want to start by reading some things I took from the internet, because I looked on the internet to see what was being said about alchemy and spiritual manifestation. And it was interesting. Some I agree with, some I don't agree with. So I wanted to start off by reading some of the stuff that they're saying on the internet about manifestation, about mental manifestation. Okay. This one internet site was calling it spiritual manifestation. Like, what is it? Spiritual information. So it says spiritual manifestation is the theory that through regular meditation and positive constructive thought, you can make your dreams and desires become reality. Spiritual manifestation revolves around the New Age concept of the law of attraction. Okay. Now, I don't know whether you've seen my other videos or anything, but the concept of the law of attraction, the natural laws and etc. They're written in a book called The Kabbalion, Hermetic Philosophy. And there are certain principles in this book. And the principles, they're ancient, spiritual manifestation and mental alchemy are not New Age concepts. They're not New Age. This stuff is ancient, magicians, wizards, sorcerers, witches, clairvoyants, shaman, just all kinds of past scientists from thousands of years back have been into mental manifestation and spiritual manifestation. So, it's not a New Age concept. And yeah, they kind of write about the theory that through regular meditation and positive, constructive thought, you can make your dreams and desires become reality. Reality as we know it, okay? Because the reality of this situation is you. You are the only reality, the mind behind it all. The all is mind, the universe is mental. So the universe is a mental machination inside your mind. So you are the substantial and the foundation, you're the reality. You are. And then the universe is a projection, a mental projection in the mind. And the projection, it's mental, and what is mental? What does it mean to be mental? Something mental, it basically means it's thought, it's fluff, it's a mirage of sort, okay? And that's what you have to keep in mind, that you're not actually bringing things into reality, you know, only into reality in the sense that it's a mental projection inside of you, and that the whole process of physically manifesting something is a mental process, okay? And there is no real actual physical world. uh it's just an energy arrangement, energy arranged in a certain way with laws and rules set to make everything seem real and permanent. It's the laws and the rules. If the energy were just free to do what it do, you understand, then you wouldn't be able to project anything. You wouldn't be able to make anything. So it has to have laws and rules. You have to set bounds and limits uh, on the energy in order, to have a world, a desk, clothing, uh, everything, books, etc. Uh, in order to have everything, you have to set rules and bounds upon the energy. But of course, the mind behind it all is the one setting the rules and the boundaries and the limits. Okay? So you're in charge of your own mental machination. You're in control of it, whether you realize it or not. But let me read a little bit more here, and we'll talk some more about it. Okay, spiritual manifestation holds that if you really want something and truly believe it's possible, it will happen. On the other hand, if you dwell on what you don't want to happen, giving it lots of thought and attention, then they say that will probably happen too. Now, this is stuff I took off the internet, okay? That if you really want something and you truly believe it's possible, it will happen, okay? Well, that's kind of right. But, you basically have to believe it's done. Once you call for something, you know, and then you have that faith that it's done once I call for it. And there's no reason why it shouldn't be done, considering who you are behind the process. You understand? And considering that it's your process, when you call for something to be inside of your own matrix and using your own being, your own energy, you understand? Why wouldn't it be? You see what I'm saying? Why wouldn't it be? The only reason why the energy, and the ether of the universe would not obey you is because you're not giving it a clear command, you know, or you are giving it a clear command, but the command you're giving it is opposite of what you're saying you want or you desire to have. You know, I mean, deep in your subconscious and everything, you don't believe, you know, you don't really want what it is you say you want. There may be some things, some fear or something going on, or something behind the scenes where you are not believing what it is that you're asking. You're not believing that it's done. Ask for it, knock, you know what I'm saying? And the door will be opened. Ask and you will receive. Okay? That's the way it goes. But if you don't have faith and belief, then you're going to have problems manifesting anything. And especially if you don't know who you are, you don't know what you are. If you don't understand that the all is mind and that the universe is mental and that a man is God, the mind, God in the flesh. That's what a man is. That's what a woman is. God in the flesh, operating inside of its own mental mechanism. So, yeah, you got full control, whether you know it or not, whether you understand it or not, you're manifesting now. You're thinking, believing, really believing and thinking thoughts. Those thoughts are going out into the ether as a vibration. And then the energy is returning what it is that it believes you want based on your thoughts and your honest beliefs. Your honest belief, it always obeys. You just have to know who you are, what you are, and then work upon the energy, work upon the process. Now, it says, how does spiritual manifestation work? On the spiritual level, it is believed that thoughts have an energy of their own, which attracts whatever the person is thinking of. The energy itself is neither positive nor negative. It simply is. In order to harness this energy to your benefit, one must practice certain things, like you have to know what you want. You have to ask the universe for it. You have to feel and behave as if the object of your desire is on its way, and you have to be open to receiving it. This is what they're saying from on the internet, and these are the kinds of things they're saying to people that are seeking, to learn more about spiritual manifestation, about mental manifestation. But let's take them one by one. You have to know what you want. Certainly, if you're asking for something, you're going to have to be clear about what it is that you want, and put the command out, of what it is that you want, deep within. You're going to have to be clear so that the process knows how to deliver and what to deliver. You're going to ask the universe for it. That's what it says here. You're not asking the universe for it. Okay? You're not asking the universe for it. You are the mind behind the process. Okay? So basically, you're asking yourself to deliver. You understand what I'm saying? The mind is all. The all is mind. The universe is mental. So, when you're asking, you're basically telling yourself to build this up for me. Build it up. This is what I want. From your own being. Okay? So, and the energy begins to form. The energy, you're not asking the universe, you're actually building the universe from your own energy. Okay? And you have to feel, they say it's 3, you have to feel and behave as if the object of your desire is on its way. See? Now that's short. That's short of being as positive about it as you can be, because feeling and behaving as if the object of your desire is on its way. No, once you've called for it, it's your energy. You are the being behind it all. You know that it's done. You're just waiting for the process to, to do what it do, to work the magic. You call for it, and then the energy does what it does. The energy delivers. Okay, but how does it deliver? While you in this personage and etc., the energy does its things according to what you want. It knows what you want, and then it goes to work to deliver. And as they say, the Lord works in mysterious ways. Okay, so there's like 1,000 different ways that the energy can deliver what it is you're asking for. You can't, ask for something and then say, it's got to come this way and it's got to come that way, or, I mean, you can, but it's going to delay the process, trying to deliver it exactly as you will. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas if you let the energy free flow and just do its thing, you understand, it's going to obey and deliver, in a way of one of 1,000 different ways. Okay, but you do have to be somewhat direct about how you want it. Without, you have to put in, you don't want it out of tragedy or anything like let's say you want to manifest some money, you want a large amount of money. Okay, and that's your desire to have that. and you put it out that is your desire, and then you start to move as though you have money. It's already done. You start spending, what you do have as though you have a whole lot more, and it's already done. Okay, uh, the process will start to work to deliver what it is that you have called for, and the way it delivers, the Lord works in mysterious ways. It may deliver you a large sum of money by uh, tragedy, by death in the family or something, and you receiving a large insurance policy or an inheritance of some kind. You could lose somebody that you love uh, if you're not direct and you don't put a whole lot of thought into what you're asking, because the process, the energy just goes out to deliver on what you're asking. Okay. Now, on the psychological level, spiritual manifestation is considered a form of the self-fulfilling prophecy. If one is convinced their dreams and desires are unattainable, they will only make a half-hearted attempt, be overly receptive to any obstacles as a sign of impending failure, and eventually become discouraged and give up. On a psychological level, if you're doing anything on a psychological level like that, and you're starting to, after you ask for something and you're starting to work for it and go hard and all that kind of stuff like that, then you don't have very much faith in your ability to call things into being. You understand? When you start doing, because what you're doing with your body and this, that, and the other inside of the process, I mean, that's an ant kicking dust. You know what I'm saying? It's that's not doing it. What's doing it is the thoughts and the belief and the faith that's behind the process. That's behind the projection. That's what's doing it. Not so much, the little bit of work that you appear to be doing, inside of your personage, inside of your physical manifestation, so to speak. Okay. Finally, on the physical level, advocates of spiritual manifestation point to a potential scientific explanation for how this works. Scientifically, human thought is just a biochemical process of neurons being transferred between different synapses in the brain. A chemical process. However, the transfer of neurons creates an electric current, tiny, sure, but measurable. The electrical current also generates a tiny magnetic field. Keep in mind, the brain has tens of thousands of synapses firing at any one time. Proponents of spiritual manifestation argue that these electrical and magnetic waves carry content, not just meaningless static. Although we do not yet have a tool to measure and confirm this theory, advocates of spiritual manifestation argue that through mental training and meditation, people can control their thoughts, and thus the biochemical and biomagnetic energy emitted by their brain waves. Yeah. Okay, this stuff is not, number one, it's not emitted by your brain waves, this, that, and the other. Certainly the brain is in the process, but the mind doesn't need a physical apparatus at all. You understand what I'm saying? The physical apparatus itself is a part of the projection, the body and everything. And it's the same as, the death or the deaths or any other object in the process. It's just that through this carrier frequency, you're projecting the other 5 sense frequencies. And then through this information, which is called the DNA information, you're able to move around inside of your projection and be conscious from here, from this point of view. You understand? Inside of your own mental processes. Okay. So what they're saying about on the physical level here, controlling the thoughts and the biomagnetic energy emitted by the brain waves. Okay, that's, like I said, the all is mind, the universe is mental, the brain itself is a projection, right along with the body, right along with my desk, my cam, everything else that seems to be taking place. You understand? This is a projection, and it's all for the entertainment and exercise of the mind that created it. The mind in which it's all taking place. And everything in your consciousness right now belongs to you. It's yours to do as you will. As you will. And more. You can have more if you want it. The energy is unlimited, as far as what you can have and when you can have it, and etc. And it's not about your brain and getting out busting ass and trying to make it and everything like that. That's what the magicians know. When you talk about mental alchemy, the only busting you're going to do is controlling your mind and having it deliver what you will. You don't have to get out of here with a hammer and nails and whatever, and start busting it or whatever. Go to some job, and bust it hard. Just ask, and put it out there, and your success is going to come to you, and you will work as it comes, not go out working and busting to get it. It's going to come to you, when you ask, when you knock, and that door will be open for you according to, the reality of the situation. Now, here's another website I looked at, and they were talking about manifesting. You may be familiar with manifestation or the laws of attraction. After all, the process was the focus of a 2006 best-selling book, The Secret which sold over more than 30 million copies. And it's something that thought leaders, including Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, they say Oprah Winfrey, and Gabrielle Bernstein. These are, I guess, thought leaders. And they're saying that these people say that that they agree that the law of attraction works. Okay. And yeah, they use it, the law of attraction, you know, which is the things that you focus on, that you believe, you attract them to you. Okay. And they could be good or bad, you know. That's why you have to control your thoughts and your beliefs. Even if your situation is bad, even if it's terrible right now, what you're going to get is what you believe, not your present circumstances. The present circumstances is just an alignment of the energy now based on what you've been thinking in the past. But if you can believe something different now, if you can visualize it and see it and believe it's done, then the energy and the ether of this whole process is going to go to work based on what you believe in, not what's going on around you right now. Based on what you believe, it's going to start to deliver your future from what you believe. So, and it can be difficult, when you're in a bad situation, people are getting on your nerves or whatever, and things aren't happening for you, and you going deeper and deeper in thought into the negative situation, and that's throwing more negative vibe out into the ether. And it's just like, when it starts raining, it's pouring and won't stop, and that cycle just continues and continues. And then the next thing you know, you have a kid, and that kid is learning from you and getting from you. And that kid is the same way. And it's the same vicious cycle over and over and over, because of the thoughts and beliefs and etc. that are coming from you. You all. So you're seeing the cycle repeat over and over. So, as difficult as it may be to change your thoughts and etc. And to focus on something different in your mind, visualize something different than what the present circumstances. To close your eyes, visualize greatness, visualize your beautiful home, visualize your nice car and you driving in it, and etc. and beautiful weather and everything. It's great and going well, and gratitude is all through you. You're just grateful. Visualize it and believe it. And the process starts working on that and delivering that to you, in every way that it can. Okay? And let me see, let's back up. What is manifestation exactly? Essentially, manifestation is bringing something tangible into your life through attraction and belief. And yeah, that's what it is. It's bringing something tangible, something real, what we call real. This is mental. It's all mental. It's all a projection and an illusion. But, we call it our reality when really the only reality is you behind the process, the all, the intelligence behind it all is the only reality. And all this other duality and all this other, the whole energy arrangement is for entertainment and exercise of the intellect. You understand? Okay. So it says right here, once you set your intention, ask for what you want and write it down on paper. Start working towards your goals. All of this stuff. If it's done, you're not working toward it. It's done. Okay. But once you set your intention and you ask for what you want, you have to write it down on paper. I mean, if you got to do all those prompts and everything, write it down on paper. You want to have a board, a dream board or I forget what they call these boards. Let me see. Be flexible, like a vision board or something where you're putting pictures of mansions and houses on the board, and you got to go look at. If you got to go look at the board and look at the pictures and all that kind of stuff like that, then you're not visualizing properly. You understand? You're not able to build these things up in your mind as you should be able to. Like, for example, the house on my book, Living the Dream. You see this mansion or whatever, the car, the plane, etc., the yacht, and etc. I mean, you could put these things on a board and go look at the board. But when you look at the board, when you look at the mansion and everything, you don't have to build it up in your mind. The picture is already set. And you just taking it in your mind. It's not doing any work looking at the pictures and building up anything. That's why I don't like television and other things where your mind is shut down. If check this out. How you sit in front of the television for hours watching movies or watching sitcoms or whatever, and it's called television entertainment. It's actually detainment, where your mind is basically shut down and it's just receiving images. It's receiving images from the television. Your mind, so it's not going through the proper processes in building up anything and in focus, in concentration, and then they had the laugh track on too. So something happened. Somebody else makes another line. So now you know when to laugh, when to watch, waiting for the next drop. You know what I'm saying? You're totally being led. You're totally being programmed in your mind power. It's just being used by the masters behind the process of television, the wizards that control the process of television, you know. So you need to let go of, all the pictures and different things. And you should be able to, just like this room that you're looking around in, that you're sitting in now or whatever, and you look around, look at everything. If you can't close your eyes and build the same kind of room, like you're in a dream, when you're dreaming, right? It comes out and everything builds up into whatever it is that you're dreaming. So why can't you close your eyes, go within your own mind and within your own being and build something that you want just as real and be in it, okay? And be of it, and then believe it, knowing that it's going to be and that it is. Why? Because you're the God behind it all. And the energy belongs to you, and the whole mental machination is yours. So, as they say in the fraternity, when you want something, so must it be. So mote it be. So must it be. It has to be. You understand? And that's the real. Now, I did a video the other day, well, on manifestation. Anyway, I was showing the periodic table of elements. The periodic table of elements right here. And basically, these are the elements. This is all the stuff that makes up everything, supposedly, in your universe. Everything that you're conscious of and that you have a perception of is made from these elements, combinations of these elements and etc. And like I said, they all have a symbol, which is, the letters or whatever, the symbol. And they all have like atomic numbers and, the atomic weight and etc. This, that, and the other. But basically, they're all energy. They're all of the elements are energy arrangements. And all of it is energy. It's all your energy, the energy of the mind. And, it's arranged this way over an eon of time as we know it. And the rules and etc. For example, smell, taste, touch, sight, sound. These are all vibrations that we perceive. They're collected in the mind at a certain spot, and then they're all joined together. They're collected and joined together, and then they're projected for all their values, So, like, say, example, this bottle. It's a plastic bottle, but it has values, okay, that are projected. Like the sight, you can see the bottle. Okay, that's one value. You can touch the bottle. These are values. These are different frequencies that have been collected and projected. I can make sound, you know, with the bottle based on the limits and everything, and the way the rules and the laws. I'm tapping on the bottle, but the tap is not making the sound. It's the mind that's making the sound. It's the mind that's doing the whole projection. You know what I'm saying? It may be somebody else in the room that doesn't hear me tapping on the bottle, depending on what they're doing and what they're focused on or whatever. Even though I'm tapping on the bottle and there is supposedly a sound coming out, they totally don't hear it because they're not focused and they're not reading the information of me tapping on the bottle. There are rare cases where people don't read all of the information and etc. Because you're collecting all this information, like I said, from 5 different senses, and then there's other things thrown in with your emotions and different things going on that are thrown into the process to make your picture and your world and different things. So, like, let's say somebody's pulling out of a driveway into the street, right? Everybody around may see that person pulling out, and that person may be pulling out and miles an hour coming this way, and that person is pulling out. That person may be reading all the values except the sight value. It's the semi may not be in the picture for the person driving the car. You understand? Because that information was not read and projected. So the person driving the car will pull right out in front of the semi. And then all the values for the semi, for the speed and velocity and everything of the semi, will hit the car. All the values and all the work will be done according to the rules. And you know what the work looks like. It's a mess. Okay. And you would say, and other people would say, wow, that person just pulled out in front of the semi. Just pulled out. Why did they do that? Well, like I said, that person may not have read, the information pertaining to the visual information pertaining to the semi may not have been projected. And then all the other information was projected. Or it may have been projected late, where they look down, there's nothing. Pull out, look back down, and now there it is. Right there. Too late. You see what I'm saying? This kind of thing rarely happens, but it does happen sometimes, in the process. A lot of things people see, you see one thing and you go sometime and they see something, and then what do? They do a double take. Did I see what I saw? And then you do the double take and the correction's been made. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see what you thought you seen. But really, yeah, you kind of saw what you saw. It was projected that way. And then the double take, the information was analyzed deeper. And correct, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, The universe is mental. It's an energy arrangement. Energy. You already know everything is energy. Okay? And this energy is taking commands from you. What you want, and the energy, it's kind of stacked up, like water, for example. H2O, two hydrogen atoms and the oxygen, and that builds the water molecule. And you got billions and billions and trillions of that, and it builds up. And the next thing you know, you got a river, you got an ocean, you got a lake. You got take a shower with, okay, that type of thing. But it's all energy under rule and regulation, and it's under your control. On top of that, okay, and I just want to go to like my quantum physics things here. You know about quantum physics. Quantum physics, like the esoteric world of spirituality, is an invisible world. So quantum physics is invisible, right? Just like spirituality is invisible, okay? But this invisible stuff, under rule, it becomes visible. It becomes touchable. And under these vibratory rates and etc., the energy is something that you can experience, okay? It proves that matter is actually energy and there are no absolutes. Yeah, well, there are no absolutes. I mean, things seem to be permanent, things seem to be, hard and steadfast, but there are no absolutes. It's energy, and it can all be manipulated. It can be, all the rules can be bent, all are completely broken by the very mind that put the rules in place, which is you. You can do it. And this is what the ancients used to know. If you go back to ancient Egypt and etc., and the temples and etc., they weren't practicing any Christianity or any of the stuff that you've been given, to practice and etc. And they told you not to mess around with your with the stuff that you used to use and you used to believe in. Don't mess with that hoodoo voodoo, that voodoo. Don't mess with that black magic. Black magic. No, you stay over here. You get it from Jesus. Jesus got you. Okay? Which means you have to go through with your own being. And, and then it's all about whether or not you deserve it or not, or whether or not that being is going to grant your wishes. You kind of put it out there and then, I don't know, maybe. I have faith. I'm waiting on it. That's not the way to go. That's not the way to do this thing. That's not the way that you control your mental machination. Okay? You go back the way the ancient Egyptians used to do it. You know what I'm saying? You become the gods in your process. Okay? And you make things happen through mental alchemy and through mental manipulation of the matter. You know, you heard the saying, mind over matter. That's literal. Mind over the matter. The mind is over the matter. It's in charge. And it makes it do what it do. Okay? And it makes it deliver what it wants. And then as it stands right now, you know, the process is delivering what you want. You're looking at more of it, thinking about it, and then it's delivering more of what you're thinking about. You understand? More of what you're thinking about. So, it's a self-feeding process. You just have to wake up to the fact that you're manifesting. And see, white people are in charge, right? And they're doing this and they're doing that, and they got this and they got why? Why? Because of what you believe about white people. And you believe it based on the way things are set now, currently, presently. But do they have to be that way? And the way things have gone and the way they are now? No. All you have to do is believe something else and see something different. And, you don't have to get out here and fight anybody. You understand what I'm saying? And try to outgun Mr. Charlie or whatever. That's not our thing. You know what I'm saying? Get back in control of your own process, instead of having, water jelly fights, and shooting, pieces of lead around, pieces of metal around, into water jelly. And then deciding who's the winner. I won. I killed that nigga. What? You know what I'm saying? Certainly, you can shut down an observation point that way because of the rules and the regulations and the limits, that have been put into place. But you can't touch the mind. You can't kill the mind. You know what I'm saying? The mind is experiencing all of this matrix and illusion and etc. But it's not being touched, hurt. Quantum physics says that as you go deeper and deeper into the workings of the atom, you see that there is nothing there. If you go deeper and deeper into the workings of the atom, they say there's probably as much space between, the protons going around and the neutrons going around from the nucleus as there is space from the sun to Pluto or out there. It's the same, it's more space or more nothing than anything, in this energy. Even space and everything is based upon something being other than the intellect itself, so even space is an illusion and etc. There's the mind is all. That's it. And the mental universe is in the mind. You understand? So, things can be as big or as small. We could take the whole universe and the galaxy and basically say that it could sit on the head of a pin. You understand? That's how big it really is inside the mind. Or it could be bigger. You know what I'm saying? But however big it is, it's small compared to the mind that it's in. And it itself is not powerful. It's the mind that's powerful. It's you that is powerful, if you want to call it powerful. Uh, being able to work upon your own mental illusions and creations. What is that? Okay. Does that make you a god per se? I can manipulate the things in my mind. I can play with my illusion that I created. Okay. And is there anything really other than me? No. So what am I God of? What am I God of? You understand? I'm God of my illusion. My mental process that's taking place. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what's the big deal in that? Now, if you want to, there's some little tiny personage inside your own mind, on earth, you know, I'm this one little person, with very limited ability. I only have the power to walk, you know what I'm saying, and lift 100 pounds or whatever. I can bench press 100. Then yeah, when you think about God and Him being able to rule the sun and the rule and to control the planets and the galaxies, and you thinking about He's the creator of all of this, yeah, because you got yourself strapped, in this little tiny personage, and thinking that there's something out there that's so much greater than you. When a man is God in the flesh, God is God in her own mental machination. She's a goddess. The man is a God in the flesh, inside of the process. So, you know, you don't you don't you don't get into the rules and the limits and etc. and then apply those rules and the limits and everything process. The rules and the limits and everything are on the flesh. Okay. And then the flesh and everything and the energy that makes up the universe is under the control of the mind that's in the flesh and the mind behind it all. It's like not 15, 13 different minds, a billion different minds, uh, in a billion, 7 billion different people, and et cetera. And there's only one reality, and that is the mind. The mind is all, you know, and it puts itself into the process through, billions of different carrier frequencies, this universe and this world, so that it can, you know, exercise and entertain itself and have, you know, and have a life and experiences and And that's what minds do. They think. A mind thinks. A mind builds mental illusions and etc. That's what a mind does. And that's what you got to get into. You got to get into your real self, you know, behind the personage. And what is it that you really do? What is it that you really are? Okay, you're an intellect. What is that? Okay, you put yourself into the process, into billions of different things, trillions of things. And you're in all the energy and etc. Other dimensions other than this three-dimensional dimension. And all of this stuff is going on in the mind, inside of you, you know, and you, where did you come from? Uh, what are you all about? You know, get into your being behind the process. Get to know you and what you really are. And you can still enjoy being, whoever you are, the person and personage that you are, inside of this illusion and inside of this matrix. Okay. And that's basically, what I want to say about mental manifestation. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you exactly, the steps that you need to go through to build your mind. I got other videos on that, processes on building concentration, building focus, uh, building mental strength and ability, and being able to work upon the material nature of the universe through mental ability. You can work upon the matter, you know, mind over matter. Okay. It's all about faith and belief and knowing what's going on in the process. You know that you're not a small thing inside of your own mental machination, and you can have it as you will. You understand? And let me tell you, you're not gonna want all of this, what you think you want. I mean, you can live a billion different ways and a million different. You can be rich, you can be poor. You're gonna want to experience all of that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you're not gonna just want to be, some wealthy guy that's just got everything that he wants and got all yes people all around him. Really thinks about you, believe, because they're all acting based on your wealth and etc. and this, that, and the other. And then you can't trust what you're seeing and what you're hearing. You know, and then money and wealth and all that. It comes with all of its troubles and etc. What some people say, hey, I love to have those troubles myself. But you have to move with security teams and etc. Because when you're inside the process like that and you're loaded like that, you ain't got serious teams of educated men and different things coming after you. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to Bill Gates' house and etc. This, that, and the other. It's a fortress. You know what I'm saying? There are all kinds of things there for security. He has to live that way. He has to have safe rooms and etc. He has to watch how he moves. He has to have security watch, infrared technology, that picks up things moving from a mile away so you know what's coming and different things. Like, who wants to live like that? You know what I'm saying? Maybe you do, I don't know. But you can have whatever you will. You know what I'm saying? I know that from this personage point, I'm not interested in anything like that. I like walking down the street on my own, on my own accord, and being able to go out and have a meal, you know, uh, without worrying about anything or knowing I don't even want to be a super celebrity or anything. Like remember Michael Jackson and etc. He went to the mall. They had to shut the mall down. The guy couldn't even go shop for a pair of gym shoes or anything. He had to dress up like a woman and put a veil over his face and all kinds of things just to go to the mall. Is that what you want? I don't think so. That's not what I want. I'm not going for that. I'm very comfortable as is, and I'm experiencing and living a great life. And I'm having ups and downs and highs and lows. I'm getting the full range of this experience. You know, and whatever I want, I call it into being. You know, I have the ability to bring things into the matrix. I have the ability to shut down any personage uh, in the matrix uh, that I practice. You know what I'm saying? And the personages are here for me. So I'm not interested in shutting down any personage from here because I don't like that person or I don't like that guy or whatever or the way that personage has come up in the matrix, through different information and etc. And that personage just had a different experience, and it may be what you would call evil or have a dark slant. That persona should be able to go through its life, go through its experiences, and come to some realizations from that angle of view. You see what I'm saying? My consciousness should be able to experience from that angle of view, should be able to go through any horrors or whatever that it needs to go, do whatever it does, and get growth from that, you know. But there are things set in place for that, you know, uh, for that type of person and that type of thing inside of the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Things like prison, jail, death penalty, uh, different things like that. That then the process is going to deliver to them what needs to be delivered. You understand? Uh, like they said, some call it karma. Karma. Okay. But it's faith and belief and knowing. That's what it is. And when we talk about faith and belief, you can go to the Bible, which was written by mystics, and it's a collection of the wisdom of thousands of years, you know, from all over the world, and it's been put into uh, stories and parables and examples in the Bible. The mystics wrote it that way, and mainly for the lower class people that could not be educated, and very few educated compared to the population. So they could read and put this information out in order to control the lower classes and make the world a better place. Now they do it through television and different things like that. But the way they're doing it now, there's too much blood, gut, as if consciousness needs to be fed that 24/7. I mean, how many times have you seen people get shot on TV, stabbed on? I mean, every show is about somebody getting killed and the police, doing their thing and basically catching the bad guy in the end or whatever. But it's still, the horror, the tragedy. By you sitting there watching that screen and it's feeding you. It's feeding you. Your mind is like on shutdown, just taking it all in. I tell you what, you like watching TV, turn it off, sit in front of it, turn it off, sit in front of it. It's entertainment, right? Turn it off, sit in front of it, and see how many hours you can do just looking at the screen. Just how long can you be detained without the images being fed to you? You're not going to sit there long. It's not going to be able to detain you. You're going to get up. You're going to get out into the world. You're going to use your mind in some way other than when that TV comes on and you click over there and you start watching, and then the next thing you know, you're eating popcorn or whatever, and you're sitting there, and it's just feeding you. It's feeding you. It's taking you somewhere. You're watching a story. You're looking. Some of these stories make you cry. Some will make you laugh. Some of them, they're telling you what to believe, what to think. You are becoming a bot, a robot of the television and etc. So they're able to turn you on and off at will, to control you, to tell you what you believe and what to believe and etc. One thing I do like about Donald Trump, I like, is that he exposed the media for fake media and fake news and how they control and manipulate the masses, and how, as he says, they're the worst. They're probably the worst problem we have is the media controlling the mind, because the media controlling the mind is basically controlling the world and the universe. Because you've got the mind tied up and believing and projecting what it is that you're feeding it. Okay? You're feeding, you got to break free. Boom, break free from that. Start to make your own pictures. Faith and belief. Know that you are the mind. Be still and know that I am God. You got to be still and know it. And then make your own pictures. Live in the present. Visualize your own situation, and the energy will make it be. Let that be light. Boom. And that was light. Let that be energy. And then the energy was boom. And form the planets. Form the stars, the animals, the people. Make it happen. Energy. This is what the mind is doing. And the mind is all. There's no such thing as the human mind. It's just the mind. You understand? You're not some small little dinky little thing trapped inside of this. I mean, enjoy it. You know, have fun. But don't suffer through nothing. You know? Control it and have it as you will. Luke 17:19. And he said unto him, arise, go thy way. Thy faith has made thee whole. Not me. This is Jesus. I didn't make you whole. Your faith made you whole. Luke 8:48. And he said unto her, daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith has made thee whole. Go in peace. Okay? Don't worry about what everybody's saying, what's going on with this and what's going on with that. Be in peace. Has made you whole. Your belief. What do you believe? Okay? That's what it's going to be. Your faith has made you whole. Luke 17:6. And the Lord said, if ye had faith as the grain of a mustard seed, you might say unto this sycamore tree, be thou plucked up by the root, and be thou planted in the sea, and it should obey you. That's what he says. It'll obey. If you had the faith of a mustard seed, and guess what? So must it be. Because you are the mind, the all, and the energy obeys. It must obey. It does obey. Okay? Matthew 17:20. And Jesus said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as the grain of a mustard seed, you shall say unto this mountain, remove hence, shall be impossible unto you. Nothing shall be impossible unto you if you got the faith of a mustard seed inside of this process. Nothing is impossible to you because you are the mind behind it all. Don't get caught into the limits of the process. Don't limit the mind. You know, the flesh is limited, and etc. But the mind can work upon all of this. Change the rules, break the rules, change everything. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not like you're moving a mountain when you ask the mountain to be moved. You're moving information and vibratory information and etc. before it's being projected. Okay? And it can be projected somewhere else. It can be, you know, it'll move and go yonder, you know, and the process is not going to do anything like stupid. The process works intelligently. You know, it's not going to just, you know, take the mountain and move it. It's going to move everything. Everything is going to change. Okay. Everything is going to change. The mountain will move. The mountain will be somewhere else, and everything related to the mountain is going to be changed. All the people are going to, in the mind, everything is going to be different. Like the mountain was never here. It always was there. Okay. Like you will know that the mountain and a few others, that the process didn't get, why it was doing what it do. You have a few exceptions to the rule, but as a rule, the process is going to change everything. You know, I've done things, moved things, and I'm telling you how the process works. It it puts everything in everything. Like, for example, when it puts something in, like if you wanted a factory or something to be, and you call for this factory to be, like a big plant, that takes up 200, 300 acres, you know, or whatever. Guess what? The process will make that plant. It'll put it into the matrix. And not only will it make the plant and put it into the matrix, but it's going to take care of everything associated with, it's wrecking everything. Some junk just came in from nowhere and I don't know what the hell's going on, blah, blah, blah. No, it's going to quietly, silently put it into the process. Okay. Let me tell you, there are going to be people that have worked at that plant for 30 and 40 years. Okay. The plant itself may appear to be 100 years old. It may be settled into the ground as though it were there for 100 years. There'll be streets and infrastructure around it with potholes and rusted lights and everything, as though the plant's been there for 100 years. Generations have worked at the plant and raised their children and families, and there will be people that have been working there for 30 and 40 years, that have retired. You know, everything is going to be changed as though it were that way at all times. You know, this process is not going to like mess itself all up, based on some command that you're making. It's going to deliver, and it's going to set everything. It's an energy arrangement. It's just going to do what you will. Okay. And it's going to correct everything, put everything in. Uh there's been times when I've wanted money for projects and etc. And I put it out that I want that money, for this project. And when I put it out that I want the money for the project, it's done. I'm getting the money. Okay. It's just done. I'm just waiting on however it's going to come. And it's not going to be long. Okay. And then because I want to do my project. And then guess what? I go to my mailbox and guess what? There are checks in the mail for like $6,000, $7,000 checks, you know, uh, to help me do whatever it is I want to do. Whether it's, building a patio out back or whatever it is I want to do. Checks are in the mail. All I have to do is cash the check. It comes like it's a loan. Like, here's a loan check for you for $7,000. All you gotta do is cash it. Sign the back of the check. Uh, Back this way, that way. Uh, over whatever length of time. Don't worry about the length of time, paying it back, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? The process has delivered what you wanted. Take the money, do what it is you wanted to do, and don't worry that the other stuff is going to fix itself. It's all going to work out. Everything's going to be all right. Getting what it is that you will. And let me tell you something about the checks that come in the mail. The checks, they come post-dated before I even ask for the money. The checks are post-dated, stamped on the letter and everything that come, boom. Like 2 or 3 days even before I ask for the money. And I'm like, okay. And like they say, the Lord works in mysterious ways. But this process is under your control. It'll deliver whatever it is you will. And it'll do it in some mysterious ways. You'll look at that like, how could this be post-dated before I even asked for it? You know what I'm saying? It seems like it would have been post-dated after I asked for it instead of before I asked for it. But don't question it. Hey, let the energy work. Let the energy do what it does after you make the command. But the all is mine. You don't think of human as some little dinky. I'm just human. I'm only a man. I'm just one man. What can one man do? One man, as they say, can change the world. And this is true because a man, remember this, a man, all it means is that this person is God in the flesh. Okay? Don't ever forget that. And, stay with me. And look for my books. I have a class, a teachable class called Mental Manifestation School. And, I'm going to wake you up to your being, to you behind the personage. I'm going to get you out of what you locked into, the limits and etc. and the boundaries that you have around the mind. So you got the mind locked in to the flesh. No, you expand the mind. Put the mind out as you move in the flesh.